Okay, it's 6 o'clock. Thanks for making it, everyone. I'm just gonna wait like 2 more minutes here to see if anyone else jumps on. I just don't want to miss anyone. So give me 2 minutes. I'll also record this meeting just so you can have it to reference afterwards. So just giving you 2 minutes, and then we'll get started here. You'll also see in the chat, I linked out to the presentation that I'll be going over today. Pretty much all the information that you need to know about the upcoming programs, camps, events is in here, so it's a good thing to have on hand. So yeah, we'll get started here in just a couple minutes. Thanks again for joining. And just to confirm, you guys are seeing my screen, right? Can anyone just give me a thumbs up or come off mute?
Yeah, I can see it. I don't see anything in the chat though.
Oh, maybe I just did that. Sorry, I probably just did like a personal. Yeah, let me know if you see this here in a second. Link to presentation. Let me know if you see that now.
Yeah, that looks good.
All right, cool. Thank you. Okay, we'll get started here. Thank you to everyone for making it here tonight to go over the 2026 Team Summit Mountain Bike Program. Super excited for the season ahead. Thanks for taking the time out of your night to join us. As I mentioned, I'll be recording this and happy to share it with you afterwards. I also linked out to this presentation that I'll be going over here today, just so you have something to come back to and reference. But quick show of hands or thumbs up. Anyone been outside biking yet? Show, I see a thumbs up. Yeah, a little snow, a little dry, but yeah. Okay. Um, so really I want to, give a comprehensive review of the program, but I don't want to get, I guess, in too much detail with everything. That's what I have, all these resources and references online that you can find, but I do want to try to get through everything as far as like the entirety of the program from what we're offering to the ways you can get involved, how we're going to use Ski Club Pro and Sports U for team communication. So I just want to make sure to hit, on all those things here. But just to get started, actually new this year. The program has grown pretty substantially over the last 5 years that I've been doing this. We started about 25 kids, and now we have over 100 kids throughout the program. And that doesn't include who we're helping with the town of Frisco bike camps too. That's another, 20, 40, 50 kids that we're servicing. And really my goal with the program is try to keep it as low cost and accessible to you guys as possible. 90% of the kids that are in our programs are local. I understand, some of the challenges, that we face here. Just heard on like Crystal 93, grocery prices are going up 3 to 4% gas. So, one way that, that can help with that, is sponsorships and some of these, companies that you see here, are going to be helping us out this year, financially, but not just in a financial way. They're also going to be supporting, some of our different events and camps too. Some of them have in the past. So I just want to call them out and thank them. I'll touch base a little bit more about how we'll be working with some of these, but if you're a local business or you have one or you know of one, there's still a few spots available to get on our team jerseys, collaborate with us, partner with us. and support the mountain bike program here. So again, the goal with these is keeping the programs as low cost as possible. So thanks to all these guys here. Just a little bit about myself. I'm the Team Summit Mountain Bike Director. This will be my 6th year leading the program. I grew up in the Midwest in Wisconsin for most of my life. Then I moved to Breckenridge, or sorry, then I lived in Minneapolis for 5 years. And then my wife and I moved to Breckenridge from Minneapolis in January, where we're now here. We've been here for 6 years with my wife Haley, daughter Eleanor, who's 2.5, and my son Micah, who's 6 years or 6 months old. So that's a little picture of our family there. I'm a BICP, that's the Bicycle Instructor Certified Program Level 2, instructor certified. Just a few personal milestones. Myself, I've done the Breck Epic a few times. White rim in a day. I was big into gravel racing when I lived in Minnesota. I've done the firecracker a ton, and I'm also a big foodie. I'm a certified nutrition coach, run my own little side business called Bike Goods. There'll be a few ways Bike Goods will be working with Team Summit this year. We always run our annual cookie fundraiser, which is always a hit with the kids. So that's just a little bit about me. If you haven't met me before, one thing that I would just want to tell everyone before we even get into this is never forget the feeling. There's this quote here, the bicycle saves my life every day. If you ever experienced a moment of awe or freedom on a bicycle, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And I always tell this to kids, like I didn't start biking until mountain biking until I was about 27. I was in Minnesota at the time. I had a rental bike and I was just riding the local trails. I had no idea what I was doing. And I remember, climbing a hill and then going downhill, a little flow trail, rollers. And I just was like going downhill and I felt like I was on a roller coaster, just going like wee, hands up, legs out, like going crazy. And then just like I always encourage, no matter where your kids start in their journey with biking, to never forget, why they first picked up a bike or what it first felt like for them, to ride a bike. Because I think that's, you know, the important thing to remember when it comes to, riding bikes, riding with Team Summit, is just never forget that. A lot of things can happen in life, when you're young or older. So I always want to encourage that to never forget what that really feels like. Um, just quick about our mission at Team Summit for the mountain bike program. Um, these are the Team Summit Colorado mission and values. Part of the reason that I did take this job or wanted to do this because a lot of this mission and these values aligned with myself personally. But the big focus, of this program is focusing on the athlete, the team, and the community. So to get a little bit more into the mountain bike program's mission. Um, the Team Summit Mountain Bike Program aims to provide safe, fun, and enjoyable experiences to help develop our athletes into lifelong cyclists and build skills that last a lifetime. So a little bit about my coaching philosophy. Um, my goal is to provide a planned, systematic, and progressive development of athletes through the long-term athlete development model. If you guys haven't heard of the long-term athlete development model before, or also known as LTAD, I highly encourage you to look it up. Some of that may have come to light over the Olympics this summer. But there's different books and research out there about it as a way to approach development when it comes to sport. And you can see a little graph on the side here as far as what that involves. So starting at the fundamentals level, and you'll see how our programs align with this, but that's our intro level programs and skill clinics. Learning to train, that would be our junior Devo and Devo levels, training to train. And then some of our athletes now that have been in the program for a while are now in high school. They're training to compete at different levels. So all the programs and camps that we offer are grade-based, grade and age-based, and they follow this long-term athlete development model here. Second, we want to create a fun, positive, and safe sports environment for all athletes, foster team building atmosphere with shared purpose and goals, Really want to focus on building strong relationships with our teammates, coaches, and the community, and still respect for ourselves, teammates, community, environment while practicing great trail etiquette, promoting inclusivity, fairness, and respect. Every rider has a place in our program, and they're valued regardless of their skill level or role on the team. And then rewarding process, not outcome goals, encouraging and teaching our athletes a growth mindset. So at the end of the day, really my job, I help coach kids, not just mountain biking. Um, just to get a little bit into and kind of in alignment with my philosophy, but our program standard that I just want to call out for this year is be better. And what I mean by that is we want to be better bikers, better teammates, and better members of our community. And that may look a little different for everyone, but really, I just want to encourage on growth for all. From my perspective, what does be better mean? It means show up and be ready to learn. We want to support our teammates, even though biking's an individual sport. How can we help encourage our teammates? Put in consistent effort every practice and event. Respect your coaches, trail, and community, and focus on progress and not perfection. So, you'll see this message shared across all of our programs this year. It may look a little bit different for everyone, but really, I want to get our athletes and our coaches involved in what being better means to them. So, something I've done in the past is I get the kids together the first practice of the year. We talk about what this means. We document it on sticky notes, and that way we have, our standard that everyone can hold everyone accountable to. So it may look different from a third grade program to, a sixth grader or an eighth grader, but really, it's about getting better, improving every day, getting 1% better every day, because I believe when we are growing and learning, we are happy in life. So, just take note of that. That's, a big message that we'll be pushing this year and continue to push year over year. Just a little bit more around our program model. This is based off of the Project Play from the Aspen Institute. Continues to be, a great model to help shape our programs around. So still, I still see this a lot. Today's model, you'll see this triangle pyramid where you start at the bottom from a recreational level and then you work your way up from travel to high school to college to pro. Our approach here with the Team Summit program is more of a broad axis or a square chart where really our program goal up to age 12 is just to focus on ability, confidence, and a desire to be active. Get outside, hang with friends. I will never push racing or overtrain someone, going up to age 12. It's really just about getting out there, having fun, building fundamentals. And then from there, squaring the pyramid helps create athletes for life. Back to our mission, of building, lifelong cyclists and skills that last a lifetime. So by working on those fundamentals up into age 12, if they want to continue at a recreational level after that, great. That's what our Devo program's for. For those that want to get more competitive and start racing, it's here, and then you have the elite. But people start biking at different times, so this pyramid can sometimes, this pyramid model, like me, I didn't start until I was 27. Like, where do I fit in this, So that's really the goal or our approach with the models and the way that our program is structured. So just to show you a little bit, pictures from last year, just to give you an idea of the culture and the community that we've been building here over the past 6 years. I ask every year, kids, why are you here today? And most of them say I'm here to have fun and ride my bike with my friends and get outside. So you can kind of see, the team atmosphere here from all levels, from camps to trips. So a lot of good experiences, in the past, and I look, forward to continue to building this sort of team atmosphere here with Team Summit. I'm not going to go over this right now. This is just for your reference. I'll touch base on it a little bit later, but really all the resources that you need to kind of help set yourself up for success. For our programs, if you're interested in joining or you already have joined, everything is really here that you need. I'll touch base on that in a little bit. But now just to dive in to give you an overview of our spring programs for the 25-26 school year, 3rd to 12th grades. I am doing a little bit of indoor riding right now with a few athletes, but the majority of our spring programs start in May, May 5th. Just to give you a quick overview of what those programs are, we're going to have a spring junior Devo and a Devo trail program on Tuesdays and or Thursdays starting May 5th through the 28th. Also going to have a spring Devo. I'm going to change that right now to six. Devo endurance program for those that are interested in building a little bit more fitness, riding a little further. But just so you know, junior Devo is 3rd to 5th grade, and Devo is 6th to 12th grade. Usually I split up 6th, 7th, and 8th graders into a group, and then 9th to 12th graders in another group. Just some additional trips to be aware about. We like to go on some day trips starting in April and May. We've gone to Fruta the past few years. Most trips that I run are for 6th grade and above. So all these trips here, you can see the grade levels, but Slide is coming up soon. I may have to reschedule that one. I haven't seen enough signups, but they were just recognized as an IMBA trail town, so is Breckenridge. But I always love to get to Salida if we can. Eagle, they have a great new bike park out there and a great trail system. And then Buena Vista. So just know some of these are on the calendar. I'll talk a little bit about the process as far as signing up for those. And I guess I'll touch base on it a little bit right now when we get into, registration. But for any trip, I just try to gauge interest on who wants to join. So what you can do is sign up for the wait list essentially. It might look like it's sold out on the registration software, but really you just join the wait list. That way I get an idea of how many people want to come so I can plan for coaching and transportation. And then really I just ask for payment a week before the scheduled trip if we're going to go through with it. So that way you can show me your interest and then you can pay basically a week out before the scheduled trip. So I'm not going to go over like every little nitty-gritty detail here, but this links out to our registration platform. But the Spring Junior Devo and Devo Trail program is really an after-school spring program for those different grade levels. You can sign up for Tuesdays and or Thursdays from 4:30 to 6 p.m. It's located, all the practices are out of Frisco Adventure Park and Peninsula Trails. And it's just a way to start to kind of, build some initial fitness, do some skills work to knock off the rust from the summer season or the winter season, and just get back outside and hanging with friends. So that is our spring junior Devo and Devo trail programs. The spring Devo endurance program for 6th to 12th grades. Kind of same idea in terms of the length of the program and the days and the times. I'm actually offering editing on the go. 3 days here. It's kind of your choice as far as what you want to do, but I saw Duncan on this call. He helped coach us last year. He also coaches with the high school team. He's got a great endurance background and kind of training mindset, and he's going to help kind of develop this program out for us along with the summer Devo endurance programs. But it's just a little higher intensity in terms of, how far we're pedaling and intense the type of riding is. But you don't need to race as part of this program. It's just for those that are a little more cross-country oriented or want to pedal faster and further, um, as throughout the season. So that will be our Spring Devo Endurance program. I touched base on the trips. Uh, Not going to go over much more here on these. Just one thing to note, the Fruita Fest trip is scheduled for May 1st to May 3rd. If for whatever reason that trip doesn't go through and we don't give it enough signups, I do have a backup plan just to do a day trip to Buena Vista. So just know that. And just remember that wait list process for these trips. It's free to sign up for the wait list. And then whether we actually go through with the trip or not, I'll keep you communicated or updated as far as that goes. So that's a quick overview of our spring programs, and some of our trips. And feel free to come off mute, ask questions as I go through this. I know I'll be going over a lot, but if you want to ask any questions or save them to the end by any means, come off mute. Happy to answer those. Okay. So now getting a little bit into summer programs. So summer programs are intended for rising second to 12th graders. So when I say rising, I mean next school year. So for the 26-27 school year. So these programs are intended for rising second to 12th graders. All summer programming starts the week of June 8th and goes through August 6th. I always have a week. I always keep a week after the end of the program to save for um, any makeup practices due to weather. And I try to align our programs as best I can with the school, with school schedules. I think school this year starts maybe August 18th. But I just try to align these programs as best I can, but just know there's an extra week at the end of those. So quick overview and kind of how back to what I was saying about the long-term athlete development model, you can kind of get a picture, a snapshot here of how all our programs, work together as kids age, as their abilities and skills improve. But starting at the top is our Intro to Team Summit mountain bike program. This is on Mondays or Wednesdays from 5 to 7. That's for your rising second to fifth graders. From there, we have our Junior Devo Trail program for third and fifth graders. So, intro is intended to be just one time a week. When you start to level up into Junior Devo, that's where it turns into two times a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I do highly encourage anyone who hasn't been part of the program before or has participated in any like similar camps or programs to start at this grade level at our intro to Team Summit mountain bike program. We just have a strong focus on building fundamental skills there before they get into the progressive programs that I have outlined here. So after Junior Devo is our Devo Trail program intended for 6th to 12th graders. That is also on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 5 to 7 p.m. As I mentioned before, usually I split up middle school and high school age kids in this program, but they all come and meet together. The Devo Endurance program, I have slash race, but just know that you don't need to race to be part of this program. A lot of kids do, and I may encourage them at this level and age range, but just know I do know, some kids that just want to pedal their bikes uphill and go fast and go far. So, um, this program, especially as kids get older, into late middle school and early high school, I want to be as flexible as I can, for that age group to help cater to their schedules, their needs. I know some of them are starting to work. So this program there's lots of options as far as what you can sign up for. And really, you can sign up, like for example, I have Mondays and or Wednesdays from 8:30 to 12:30 for those that want to ride more during the day, or if they have nothing to do during the day, that's a great program. And then I also am offering a Tuesday and or Thursday practice or training option from 5 to 7. So based on, your kid's schedule at this grade level, they could sign up for Monday mornings and then maybe do a Thursday afternoon, or you could do Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. So when you get to the registration portion for this program, if you're interested in joining it, you'll see you can basically check different boxes for that program to kind of build out your schedule. New this year, our Gravity Summer program. I have an awesome coach by the name of Noah Chaffin. He helped out last year. He's also BICP certified. He's a great enduro, downhill, kind of freestyle rider. He also races himself too. And I've tried for the past few years to get a gravity program going, and it just hasn't quite worked out. I really hope it does work out this year, but it's going to be a 6-week program starting June 28th. I'm also going to offer another 6-week program. I don't have it here, but after this one ends, so just know if this one works out well and there's more interest for later in the year, we'll run another one. Um, we're going to offer a gravity program 6 weeks, mostly going to be out of Keystone Bike Park on Sundays. Um, but Noah may decide to do a few like shuttle rides or other downhill oriented trails as part of that program. So, really the idea here is to have this program be an add-on. Like for example, it could be one day of Devo endurance trail or race and this, but um, it can be a standalone program with Coach Noah's approval. And basically, we just want to make sure that they have the necessary fundamental foundational skills built throughout these programs before they go into the Gravity Summer program. So just reach out if you have any questions for me or Noah on this program. He's a great coach. I think it's going to be a ton of fun. Kids always have fun going downhill. Who doesn't? But really, the idea is to kind of make this an add-on or an additional growth pathway. And, sometime in the near future, I would hope that we have our own kind of built-out gravity program. Um, that's more specific, to kids that only want to ride downhill. Um, Aside from our programs here, I have a lot of summer camps and trips on the calendar, including some gravity weekend clinics. That could be a better possibilities for some parents and kids on the weekends. There'll be 2-day weekend clinics. I have some of those on the calendar. Go ahead. Is that Trey?
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is Trey. I got Johnny here.
Hey,
I,
Johnny.
I just have a question about these morning endurance uh, you know
Yeah.
sessions, because in the past, Johnny's always just done the 2 hour rides with you guys in the evenings, and so we're trying to decide. We don't know if Johnny can handle 4 hours.
Yeah.
So I was just wondering if you could just like describe, what's going to happen on one of those 4 hour rides. Do you take breaks? Do you get water breaks? Stuff like that. Do you stop and get water like halfway through, or?
Yeah, we're definitely gonna have water because if I don't give them water, I'm gonna get in trouble through safe sport. Um, just think of them as like 4 hour. It's a 4 hour length as far as the day goes. Like it may start with a little drill or skill in the morning, whatever the case may be. Um, we will have stops for food and water, but the idea is to try to keep those to a minimum, based on the group and where they're at. But we'll definitely talk about hydration and snacks. It's not going to be a 4 hour, continuous ride. I'll tell you that right now. We'll take breaks when we need them, or just based on who the kids are. I send some to the top while coach is in back, waiting for the others, take a break at the top. So it kind of depends on how the group dynamics and age range play out there. Um, but it's not going to be a high intensity ride for 4 hours straight. Think more easy ride, building aerobic base, and fitness as part of this program, just to help build overall, yeah, fitness. But, I do kind of within the registration for this too, like I do try to say, come in with some base fitness built. So join a spring program or get out on the rec path and get in some miles, before you join this program. So that way you don't just show up and are completely gassed by the first practice and don't want to do it again. Another thing, and I don't have it included here, but I do on the registration page. So maybe you don't want to do the entire, 9 or 10 week program. I am going to offer like a 5-day punch card or pass to join Mondays and or Wednesday rides for this, or just a 1 day. Um, but the same kind of thing applies. Please try to show up with a little bit of fitness. Like, don't have this be the first time you show up on your bike for this program, because by the end you'll probably be pretty gassed. But I just trying to be flexible with this by offering those different program options. Um, and then, based on how Johnny's doing, maybe after 1 day, he's ready to go for 10 more weeks. I can work with you to sign him up for the whole program or do 5 more of those. Does that help?
Yeah, that really explains it. I got one more dumb question. So, um, we know how much water he needs to bring, in July when it's hot for 2 hours. Does he have to bring twice as much water for those 4 hour rides, or are you going to stop somewhere to get refilled, or how does that work?
Yeah, usually I suggest 1 bottle of fluids per hour of riding. So that's 4 16 to 20 ounce bottles, right? So I see a lot of kids these days that don't have water bottle cages. Like that is one area of opportunity to carry more water on you aside from just your back. But I don't know the exact size of all, some camelbacks are 1.5 to 2 liters. If you can carry enough on your back, great. But I will always have like a cooler of water, in my truck, too, wherever it is we may be meeting. So, I'll always keep that into consideration, Trey, too, as far as, how I plan the routes and things like that. Like maybe we do a figure eight and halfway through we stop back for water. Like, I'm definitely not going to let him go thirsty, but just know kind of rule of thumb, one 16 to 20 ounce bottle per hour of riding. And I know, like I said, we're not going to ride for 4 hours straight, but I would still, make sure that he has enough. So,
Okay, thanks. That helps.
yeah. Cool. Thanks for the question. Um, Back to camps a little bit. I'm going to touch summer adventure bike camps for 6th to 10th graders. I just started these last year. Some things changed up with my schedule that allow me to run more week-long summer camps for middle schoolers to early high schoolers. They run from 9 to 3. They're a super cool experience. It's all drop off and pick up at the Frisco Adventure Park. I had the Team Summit vans to do shuttle rides or to go to different trailheads. Um, I introduced to like we did some trail work with the town of Frisco last year. We helped pop some rocks and smooth out some trail. We volunteered at Smart Bellies and helped pack food. For their programs to help feed kids in the county. I brought in Aaron from Summit Sports Lab, who you saw earlier was a sponsor of ours, and he went over with the kids like bike fit, kind of injury prevention tips. So he'll be involved with those again. I worked with Clay from Neighborhood Bike. We went to his garage and he showed kids how to fix a flat, um, refill their tires with sealant, and then we had a different station going on bike wash. And it was just a really cool experience for kids, for a week long to join those while also riding and working on skills. So just I have 3 of those on the calendar for the year. Super cool experience for kids. You can join these in addition to our programming, or if your programming doesn't work out for you, you could just sign up for a camp too. We're going to Crested Butte in June 26th to 28th. For younger level kids, especially those that want to get in a little bit of skills practice and riding before our summer season starts, I have 3 one-day weekend camps, May 30th, 31st, and June 6th, out of Frisco, as just a way to come together, learn some basic fundamental skills, and get out and ride a little bit. And then similar to the adventure bike camps, I'm going to run some junior shred camps, either 4 or 5 day camps, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. This year too. So all the schedules and information on these are, come up in the subsequent slides here. So feel free to dive into those a little bit more to get more information on the dates of those camps, and just kind of some expectations or like, right, I'd call out in there like for the summer adventure bike camps, like these are not beginner camps. Like I would call them intermediate to, for some, I guess, advanced camps. So like having some basic foundational skills built is required to come into these. It's not a learn to ride camp, so I just want to kind of set that expectation before you join those. But I have all that information documented or kind of laid out in these slides or on our registration platform. Um, So just for time's sake and everything, I'm not going to go through everything, for all our summer programs. But you can find all the information again, plus the links to, directly register for these different programs here. So look through those. I have everything listed out here. One thing to call out about the Summer Devo Trail program. Um, have a group for all girls or for female identifying riders. Ziggy Lanneman is going to be the head coach and help lead this up just to help build Stoke to get more girls out and riding. And she's great. She's worked with Durango Diva before with the same exact age range as a head coach for them. She also works for Venture Birds or as coach for them before. Um, she's going to be taking on a little bit more of a role here in helping lead that. So She's also my next door condo neighbor, which is kind of funny. So we get to talk a lot about this, but I really encourage, if this is something of interest to you to reach out to me. I can connect you with Ziggy as far as what this is going to look like, but she's really going to help level up the stoke and raise the stoke for all girls, just to get more girls out and riding together. Um, Here's some more information on that endurance program that I talked about and the different options or schedule options that you can, sign up for here. And then here's our summer gravity Devo program. I touched base on the trips a little bit and camps, but here's again all the dates for the Shredders Fundamentals camps with links to register. Junior shred camps. With these in particular, um, I'm going to offer a 4 or 5 day option for this level or age range. Um, for some, they can handle 5 days. I've worked with the town of Frisco for even a little bit younger kids. I mean, 5 days does get to be a lot, but those camps are 8 hours. These are six. Um, but, I'm just trying to work with schedules and, the younger age group here. But I have the links for those two different camps here. Talked about the summer Summit Adventure bike camps. I'm not going to touch base on these too much. The Gravity Foundation weekend clinics are all listed here too. And then a little bit more information on our Crested Butte summer bike bash, which iconic place to ride, beautiful wildflowers, some really incredible trails. So if I can pull together a group of older middle schoolers and high schoolers to go on this trip, I think it could really be, a great memory for a lot of kids. So um fall, I'm not going to touch base on fall. Like I have a similar model in terms of the programs that I offer. It's after school programs, and I will open registration for this after summer registration closes out. But that's kind of a quick snapshot of our programs and camps. I just want to get into now some different resources, events, different things like that. But any questions top of mind for anyone before I jump in to some resources and other things like that? Okay, great. Feel free to ask. I'm happy to stay on after we're done here to answer anything specifically. So some resources. So these are here to help guide your decisions when it comes to, learning more about our program. What program or camp should I sign my kid up for? What kind of gear should I have for each program? What are all the different events and dates that we have going on? Most of it you can find right here. The skills progression guide just helps lay out what different skill levels and what age, what skills they should be able to perform, within this level, and then my recommended programs or camps based on their skill level, age, skill. So just use this as a reference guide to help kind of line up, hey, which program or camp is best for my kid. Gear guide, a lot of people ask me about bikes. Um, it'll lay out for each program here what bike requirements are needed. So for intro, minimum 20 meals, wheels, fully rigid, hardtail, or full suspension is allowed. As you work your way up, I have some increase in tire sizes for the programs. Just because when you get into Junior Devo, we're out riding different trail systems, terrains, 24-inch wheel bikes allow you to go farther, go over more things like that. So if you're wondering about, which bike is best for my program, you can find it here. If you want a quick snapshot of all, oops, this is last year's. I gotta update that. 6. All the important events, dates, camps, those things that I listed out here. If you just need a really quick reference to everything, I have it linked out here for you. So bookmark this, save it, so you can come back to it. You just get an idea of when everything is listed on our schedule. I'm going to ask you right now to save the date for Sunday, June 7th. The last few years, we've kicked off our summer program season at the Frisco Adventure Park with a ride, a party, food, pick up your jerseys, your socks. We're going to do the same thing this year, but we're also in tandem with that, we are going to be running the Paul Kresge Memorial Bike Ride, which is a fundraiser to help raise money um, to increase access for our programs, but not just our programs, all of Team Summit programs. This is something we've ran in the past, more through our events team. The mountain bike team is going to be helping run it this year. We have organized group mountain bike rides. Anyone that's signed up for the program is you register for free. You're part of the ride and you get a meal. But it's just a way to connect and invite our community in and to help support our programs, getting kids out on bikes, out on skis, whatever the case may be. So it's going to be a super fun day um, to kick off before our summer season starts. Um, Mountain bike program volunteer opportunities. So we're using a platform called Point. You need to create an account, but you can see I have some different volunteer opportunities here, whether it's chaperones for day trips. Um, we're going to need some volunteers for this Paul Kresge ride, whether it's registration, helping sweep different group rides. Some junior coaches are going to help out in lead rides, and then it's going to be a big potluck. We like to have big potlucks as part of the mountain bike program, so to bring snacks, food, all those great things to make it a cool, a great party. They're all listed here, and this does help you, especially if you're part of Team Summit. Winter programs get you your VSF hours. For, ski season. So all these opportunities are in here. Plus, and I know a few of you reached out to me already on these, but helping, getting parent volunteers for our younger level programs, for our intro programs is a great help, just to keep the cost of those programs low. And it's just, when there's at that level to have, additional help is beneficial in terms of just group management and dynamics. So I know a few of you helped out last year on these, looking for more help as far as volunteering as ride sweeps for our intro program. I'm going to talk just a little bit now about Ski Club Pro. Some of you may be familiar with it already, but this is our new, again, platform for registering for programs and camps. The first step that you do need to take to access our programs and camps is creating an account. So if I were just, and I don't know if you can see this, but like this is incognito. So if you don't have an account yet, it'll bring you to this link. You need to create an account first, and that will give you access to all of Team Summit's programs and camps. So once you create and set up an account, then you can view and browse all of our different programs and camps here. You'll see the snowboard and the ski programs in here. There's really no great way from this point of view to just single out mountain bike programs, but you can filter out here, for example, our trips and clinics, our camps and clinics. So like the shredder camps, the summer adventure camps, or trips to Eagle or um, Buena Vista, things like that are all listed here. As I mentioned before, the waiting list, this is just a quick process. It might look like it's sold out, but really you just need to go to this program. Let's see how it works. Add yourself to the wait list. Your view might look a little different than mine because I'm an administrator right now, but essentially you just need to click add to the wait list, give their information, and then I'll get notified that you're interested in joining this trip. And as I mentioned before, if we, get enough kids signed up to go forward with that day trip or that camp, I'll invite you to sign up and pay 1 week before the scheduled date trip. So just know that that's the process, and this is where you'll find all the camps, trips, and clinics. And then there's a different sort of, I guess, listing of our programs. Junior Devo. Let's see how this is not quite working. This has been a little bug in their system. Sometimes you need to refresh like that. So the spring Junior Devo programs, Devo Endurance, Intro to Team Summit, Mondays or Wednesdays. Those are all listed here. So just know there's two different areas, depending on what you're looking for when it comes to signing kids up. So that would be these two right here. But if you go back here, and like I mentioned, if you sign up and create that account, and then you know for sure that you want to sign up for the Junior Summer Shred Camp, you just go here and it'll bring you specifically to that program or that camp, and you can just register on the spot. So that's just another way to kind of navigate signing up for a different program or camp. So one thing now to note just a little bit about Ski Club Pro. So it's a new registration software, and I'll try to show you here too. So each program, primarily programs, sometimes I'll use this for camps. And let me just try to go to one here. Just give me a minute as I bring this up. So each program has their own calendar with a list of like scheduled events or practices. And something really smooth or slick is that you can just export this calendar schedule to, your preferred calendaring system, whether it's Google or Apple. Um, you can find information on, when practices are here, which is great. But something that this system does not offer that other systems in the past have is being able to mark your attendance to let me know you're coming to a certain practice or an event. Um, so that's where this year we're going to be using Sports EU to access schedules, group messages and chats and events are also going to be listed there. I know a lot of different sport programs use this already, which is great. I know it's another app to have, but the good thing, at least about Ski Club Pro and Sports U, is that the calendars are basically integrated. So whatever I update on the calendar in Ski Club Pro will also reflect on the Sports U calendar. So for those of you that are familiar with Sports U, if I have like, I'll try to find an example here. Like Sports U is the program that you can use, or the app that you can use, sorry, for the bouncing around to mark your attendance or to let me know that you're coming to practice. Um, so reach out if you have any questions on that. I hope, I try to make it as hassle-free as possible for you guys. Um, so like Sports U and some of you that have already joined the program, you can see that I've started just a general group chat for the mountain bike program just to communicate, broad events and things going on. We're doing a coffee fundraiser and I'm taking a poll here. So everyone that joins a program or a camp will be invited to this for just general communication. But then depending on the program that you have signed up for, you will get invited to that and we'll have access to the practice schedule. And any relevant events to that program so that you can let me know that your kids are coming to practice. So, um, hopefully it's not too much of a learning curve for those of you that aren't familiar with Sports U. But just so you know, um, and I will do my best for anyone that does sign up. I will try to invite you to Sports U to set up an account, or if you already have one, it'll basically be affiliated with your existing account. But also know within these team pages here that you have access to within Ski Club Pro, I have linked out here specifically, like join our program on Sports U to access schedules, group chats, events. So if you go here, it just is a quick way for it shows you how new users can join, or if you're an existing user, you can basically just use this access code to get access to those specific group chats or teams. But I'll do my best to just invite everyone, but just so you know, there's another way to access Sports U here so that you have access to our calendar and can let me know your kids are coming to practice. Any questions on that? I'm sure they'll come up. You might not have them right now, but I'll try to set you up for success as best as I can. I know parents deal with a ton of apps and sometimes they just phase them out and don't want to use them. But really, the purpose, especially for Sports U, like to be able to communicate practices being canceled, um, via a quick message or group chat, or, I know 20 kids are coming to this practice. I got to make sure I at least have 5 coaches there. So I do ask you as best as you can to use that app to let me know that your kids are coming just to help us run a better, more efficient and safe program. So if you don't have any questions now, but come up with some later, please do let me know about those. Um, I talked about the kickoff party a little bit. Save the date for June 7th. Like I mentioned, I'm just going to go to this page a little bit right here. We use a fundraising platform called GiveButter. I do just ask that you could, I might just post this in Sports U, but if you want to share this with anyone who's maybe interested in riding with us or just wants to join the party or help support the program, this is the event page here. I have the event schedule and everything. We're gonna do family friendly mountain bike ride, and then I'll have different rides for different abilities and ages. So a green, a blue, and a black ride. And then any parents maybe that want to partake in their own mountain bike and or road ride, you're more than willing to join us too. But any 2026 Team Summit mountain bike athlete is free to join. You get ride and a lunch. Say you have a friend or you're on the fence about joining, maybe you want to come to this ride. It is $25, but say you want to join the program, you had a great day, we'll credit that $25 back. And then there's just some more information here and where your dollars are going and what you're supporting. Just want to touch base on a few different community events, workshops, and of those fundraisers that we are running too, so you're aware of them. Um, on top of everything that I mentioned, the trails are dry. I want to get out and ride, and I've got this request a few times from parents before. I'm gonna host a few what I call them open bike and shred nights. They're free. Whether you're already signed up for a program or you're on the fence about joining, you don't know if it's the right fit. Anyone ages 7 to 18, all abilities are welcome to join. It's an opportunity for you to ride with their coaches, ride with your friends, have fun. They're going to be at Frisco Adventure Park from 4:30 to 6 after school. I have 2 dates as of right now. Bring a friend, whatever the case may be. I just want to, give everyone an opportunity of what it's like to ride with us. And I'll have different groups and, skills session. Like if it's a brand new rider, like we're not going to go out and ride 20 miles. We're going to just play some games, work on some skills and get to meet some friends, all those good things. But no, those are on the calendar. I'd love if you already signed up to join those and bring a friend. It's just a great way to, you know, um, show everyone what it's like to ride with Team Summit. So, if you're on the fence and you're not signed up for a Team Summit program and this seems like a good fit for you, you would just need to register for this event here and sign a Team Summit waiver. Like I mentioned, if you're not signed up for the program yet. If you're already signed up for the program, I'm just going to post it on the Ski Club Pro and Sports U calendar, and you just let me know if you're coming. But if anyone is on this call and new here and wants to get a little taste before they sign up, that's what these open bike and shred nights are for. Um, Coming up here soon and into May, I'm going to be hosting some different preseason workshops, virtual and some may be in person. One that I already have up is called Feeling Young Athletes. It's a virtual workshop with Yuri Carlson. If you haven't heard of her before, she's a registered dietitian. She's based out of Breckenridge. She's great. She's going to talk to parents and athletes about how to help kids eat enough, whether they're endurance and race focused or just out doing 10 million things during summer, from camps to coming riding with us in the evening, and just good overall health practices and nutrition practices. So That's something, again, you can sign up for here on GiveButter. It's free. You just register, let us know you're coming. I already see quite a few people signed up, which is great. You'll get a Zoom link after joining, or a Zoom link after registering, so that you can join this. So, um, super generous of Yuri to do this for us. She's just got a great presence in the community here. She works with Scratch Labs, Juliana Bicycles, as well as she's like the official dietitian for the Breck Epic too. So cool opportunity for both parents and athletes to come to this and learn how to fuel yourself. Working on just a few others as far as injury prevention and bike fit with Aaron from Summit Sports Lab. Looking to do a bike mechanic session either with Clay or um, the bike shop. I can't think, Cove Bike and Ski in Dillon. Looking to hopefully do this in May at their shop, just as a way for parents and kids to, help get their kids' bikes. What can you do to get your kids' bikes ready for the season? And then also, I just connected with someone in the performance, mental health, and mindset space. They've worked with Team Summit before, and some pretty high-level athletes, including USA Cycling, which is like the non or the governing body organization for cycling. She is looking to, work with our athletes just on cultivating a growth mindset, different things that kids can do and parents can help with when it comes to mental health or just simple breath work, things like that. So no, those are coming and those will always be posted on the Sports U and the Ski Club Pro calendars too. In the past, I ran some fundraisers, the cookie fundraiser through Bike Goods. We bake cookies and sell them to our community. Last year, we even took orders and delivered them on our bikes. Gonna do something similar this year, just using a chocolate chip cookie granola recipe that I have. But kind of in tandem with that, I've also been working with Mountain Dweller Coffee Roasters. Beth, the owner there, has been a great sort of partner for Team Summit and for my business too, as far as wanting to just help support the local community. So she offers a fundraising sort of product or service where she sells wholesale coffee beans to us at wholesale price, and then we can sell it to others online at basically like an increased cost, and it makes money for our team. So and we're going to look at different ways to sell granola and coffee at our summer kickoff party, at the firecracker, just any other ways. So some cool opportunities to connect with local businesses here that will help support our program. If you look in Sports U Quick, I have a poll going. What's kind of cool about this is that they create a custom label for our team, so we get to name our coffee beans and stick a label on it. I got some input from others on names, Roasted Spokes, Rise, Grind, Ride, Summit, Send It. Um, if you see these right now and want to put your vote in quick in the chat, that would be great because I'm trying to get this finalized and starting with Beth so that we can start up this fundraiser here, Wild Hack Fuel. So thanks everyone for contributing to those. Quick votes. Anyone? A few other just community events and opportunities. We're going to run a bike rodeo at Silverthorne Elementary. This is just to teach some basic bike skills, road safety for that school, but really it's open to the public if anyone else, wants to make that at the elementary age level. Team Summit coaches, plus some of our older junior coaches and athletes are going to sign up and help run that for us. Firecracker 50. The past few years, we've set up a team tent and have sold food as a fundraiser to help support our program. Just a really cool event for the entire program to be immersed in that experience. So we need some help there as far as like taking different shifts to help sell food there. And then also on the calendar and production is a Team Summit race night with the town of Frisco. We're going to be running some just really fun, low-key dual slalom, short track, and strider races at Frisco. Um, the date right now that we have on the calendar for that is July 29th from 4 to 7. More details will be coming soon as far as how we sign up for that. But just a fun evening night of different types of races for those who are maybe interested in racing or just want to come out for a fun night. It's going to be a low pressure event. Like I think we're going to be similar, if some of you know the bubblegum races, it's going to be similar to that kind of vibe where it's just about, getting out and having fun and participating in something like and really not worrying about what place that you take. I know some will, but just know that. Um, Talked a little bit about community events and volunteer opportunities. I think probably the last thing to talk about here is team jerseys and socks. Just know they're two different vendors, but we're going to be using Pactimo this year. I have some information here as far as what to expect when it comes to placing a jersey order. All sales are final once they're placed. We have an account manager that is more than willing to go in and adjust sizes. Um, but she can't adjust quantities. But we have a size and fit guide here. You can always talk to someone. I know parents just always ask, like, what size should I get, for my kid? Like, go to their size and fit guide. Like, I even did this for myself. I measure my chest is the main thing for, um, the jersey sizes. But I do have also at my house right now a whole set of all the sizes that they offer of just like, their jerseys. So if you really don't know, or if you live in Breckenridge or the Wellington neighborhood, or you're passing through, um, if you want to try them on, just let me know, and that way you know what size you are before you place your order. But the way jersey orders work, this is the link to order them. I have different ordering periods. Right now, there is one that is currently open. It closes on Sunday, April 12th. You'd probably get them around May 1st or maybe a little bit after that. So in time for spring season. I will probably have another order period open right after that for a couple weeks so that you would get them in time for June when summer programming starts. Um, but just take note of that. I have the try-ons at my house. If you want to come and try them on, just let me know. They're in my garage. If I'm home, great, you can try them on. Otherwise, I'll just, I'll let them out for you to try. I had a few other kids come try them on. That were in the neighborhood at different, you know, age, heights, sizes. So I have kind of some reference points. Like, so if you're not able to make it here, but say, hey, I have an intro kid. Do you have any kind of references for me? I'm happy to send those to you as kind of just like, well, I know this kid in the program is about the same size as my kid. That's probably the size I should get. So you can also reach out to me and ask me about those. Mhm. But this is the link to the store right here. You can see underlined right here is the specific type of design depending on the program. So the endurance team and race team, that's what these are all for here. And then for the Devo trail programs or junior Devo trail programs, you'll see that highlighted under here. Whoops. And then the intro team has its own design right here. So just know that we have different jerseys and designs depending on the program that you signed up for right here. And then some shorts. Anyone could order those. And just note there are men's and women's sizes. There's just some subtle differences in terms of how they, design those. I know some women prefer men's sizing for whatever the case may be, but again, I have all these kits and, sizes of jerseys at my house. So if you want to come try them on before that April 12th deadline, great, just let me know. Otherwise, you can place these orders now up until April 12th. And then, like I mentioned, I'll open up another store period probably for about 2 weeks so that we can get jerseys in time for the start of our summer season. Just on another low-key note, I order socks from another vendor called Hyperthreads.